The bass thumped through the crowded Brooklyn loft like a heartbeat on steroids, but nothing could drown out the way Jordan's eyes locked onto mine from across the room. I was mid-laugh, my hand brushing the arm of this cute guy named Tyler. Tall, easy smile. The kind who made small talk feel like foreplay. When I caught it, that flash of something raw and unfiltered in Jordan's stare, like he'd just watched me shatter something fragile he didn't even know he owned. He shoved through the throng of bodies, beer sloshing over his cup, and grabbed my elbow hard enough to yank me back a step, his voice a low growl over the music. "Alex, we need to talk. Now." I stumbled after him into the dim hallway, the party's chaos fading behind us like a bad dream. Jordan slammed the door to the coat closet, because yeah, that's where we ended up, and spun on me, his chest heaving like he'd run a marathon. "What the hell was that?" he demanded, his face inches from mine, close enough I could smell the faint cedar of his cologne mixed with the sharp tang of spilled IPA. His hands gripped the doorframe on either side of my head, caging me in, and for a split second, I thought he might actually kiss me right there, denial be damned. But he didn't. Instead, he raked a hand through his messy blonde hair, eyes wild. "You're my best friend, man. You can't just flirt like that in front of everyone. It's embarrassing." Embarrassing? The word hit like a slap. We'd been roommates for 2 years in our cramped Astoria walk-up, sharing takeout disasters and late-night confessions about everything from his dead-end graphic design gigs to my endless string of failed dates. He'd sworn up and down he was straight as an arrow. Girls only. Always had been. After that one awkward drunken makeout story from college he laughed off as experimentation. And I'd believed him. Or at least, I tried to, burying my own stupid crush under layers of bro-code bullshit. "Embarrassing for who, Jordan?" I shot back, my voice sharper than I meant. Heat flushed my neck. Part of me wanted to shove him away, but the bigger part, the idiot part, leaned in just a fraction, testing. "I'm gay, remember? Flirting's kind of my cardio. You said it yourself last week. You don't like guys. So why do you care if I hook up with Tyler or whoever?" He flinched like I'd punched him, his jaw clenching so tight I swore I heard his teeth grind. "I don't. I just... forget it." He pushed off the door, turning away, but not before I saw the crack in his armor. That flicker of hurt, or jealousy, or whatever the hell it was that made his hands shake as he yanked the door open. The party noise rushed back in, swallowing us whole, and just like that, he was gone, weaving back into the crowd like nothing happened. But something had, and as I stood there, heart pounding against my ribs, I realized the real hook wasn't the flirtation. It was the panic in his eyes, the one he couldn't fake away. Back in the loft, the air was thick with sweat and synth-pop remixes, fairy lights strung haphazardly across exposed brick walls casting a hazy glow over clusters of 20-somethings nursing craft cocktails. Our friend group had claimed a corner. Mia, the fierce lesbian photographer with her signature undercut and septum piercing, perched on the arm of a worn leather couch. Her girlfriend Lena, soft-spoken and analytical, a psych grad student who could unpack your baggage with one arched brow. And then there was Sam, the non-binary wildcard who dragged us all here with promises of epic queer chaos. Tyler hovered nearby, oblivious, chatting up someone else now, but I couldn't shake the hallway scene. Jordan had vanished into the kitchen, pouring shots with forced laughs, but his glances kept darting my way. Quick, guilty, like he was afraid I'd disappear. I grabbed a seltzer from the cooler, the fizz biting my tongue as I joined the crew. Mia clocked me first, her dark eyes narrowing over the rim of her gin and tonic. "You look like you just got ghosted by your own shadow." "Spill." Lena leaned in, her hand absently tracing circles on Mia's knee, a quiet anchor in the storm. "It's Jordan," I muttered, sinking onto the couch. The words felt heavy, like admitting defeat. "He flipped out when he saw me with that guy. Like, full-on possessive mode. But he swears he's straight." "What the fuck?" Sam snorted, adjusting their colorful scarf with a dramatic flourish. Classic repression bingo. I've seen it a million times at these things, straight-passing dudes who implode the second their roommate gets a vibe. They waved a hand toward the kitchen, where Jordan was now arm-wrestling some rando, his laugh too loud, too brittle. "Bet he's halfway to a crisis text right now." Mia set her glass down, all business. "Alex, you've got to call it out. Subtleties for cowards." Remember that time with my ex? Dragged the truth out over brunch empanadas. Works every time. She wasn't wrong. Mia's no bullshit approach had saved me from more than one bad decision, like that summer fling with the closeted finance bro who ghosted after Pride. But Jordan? He was different. He was the guy who'd held my hair back during a tequila-fueled breakdown last year, whispering, "You're enough, Alex." Always in the bathroom tile echo. The one who'd binge-watched every season of Heartstopper with me, rolling his eyes at the cheesy bits, but staying glued to the screen. Lena chimed in softer, her voice cutting through the din, "Or maybe give him space." Panic like that? It's fear, not just jealousy. Could be internalized stuff, family pressure, whatever. My brother's still in the closet at 35 because of their Bible Belt roots. She had a point. Jordan's folks were old-school Jersey Italians, the type who talked tough love over Sunday gravy, but freaked at anything outside their heteronormative playbook. He'd mentioned once, offhand, how his dad had disowned a cousin for coming out. "Doesn't mean it's easy," she added, squeezing Mia's hand. "But pushing too hard might make him bolt." I nodded, but doubt not at me. Space felt like surrender, and after 2 years of this slow burn ache, brushing shoulders in our tiny kitchen, sharing that lumpy futon during power outages, I wasn't ready to let go. Not yet. Tyler wandered back over then, flashing that grin again. "Miss me?" he teased, sliding onto the couch arm beside me. Before I could respond, Jordan materialized like a storm cloud, clapping Tyler on the shoulder a tad too firmly. "Hey, man, you play pickup ball? We're heading to the courts tomorrow. Alex is in, right?" His eyes bored into mine, challenging, and Tyler blinked, caught off guard. Sure, if Alex is game." Tyler glanced at me, amused, but I could feel the undercurrent, the way Jordan's body angled just so, blocking the space between us. The night blurred after that. More drinks, a tipsy dance circle where Sam pulled everyone into a conga line, Mia snapping candids on her cannon, but the tension simmered. By 2 a.m., we piled into Ubers, Jordan shotgun in ours, silent the whole ride home. Our building loomed on Ditmars Boulevard, the neon sign of the corner bodega flickering like a tired heartbeat. Up 3 flights, the door stuck as always, and I fumbled the key while he hovered behind me. Too close, his breath warm on my neck. Inside, the apartment was a familiar mess. My graphic novels stacked by the couch, his sketchpad splayed on the coffee table amid takeout wrappers. He flicked on the lamp, casting long shadows, and headed for the fridge without a word. "Nightcap?" he offered, holding up a couple of IPAs, but his voice was rough, edged with whatever he'd been marinating in. I took one, twisting the cap off with more force than needed. "About earlier." "Don't." He cut me off, sinking onto the futon, bottle midway to his lips. The room felt smaller, the air charged. I was drunk. Overreacted. "You're right, I don't like guys. Never have. It's not my business who you flirt with." The lie hung there, brittle as glass. I sat across from him, legs brushing his knee accidentally, or not, and watched the way he avoided my gaze, focusing on the label peeling under his thumb. "Then why'd you panic, Jordan? Looked like you were about to deck the guy, or drag me out of there caveman style." He laughed, but it was hollow, echoing off the peeling wallpaper. "Protective instinct. Brothers before. Whatever. We've got history." "History." Yeah, like the time he'd crashed on my floor after his last breakup, whispering about how no one got him like I did. Or the quiet mornings when he'd make extra coffee, sliding the mug over with a sleepy "fuel up" artist boy, his fingers lingering. I set my beer down, leaning forward. History doesn't make you grab someone's arm like that. Unless there's more. My heart hammered. This was the line we'd danced around for months, the one where friendship teetered into something riskier. His eyes finally met mine, stormy blue and fractured. "There isn't. Drop it, Alex." But he didn't move away when I shifted closer, the futon dipping under us. The silence stretched, thick with unsaid things, until he stood abruptly, muttering about needing air, and slipped out to the fire escape. I watched him go, the metal groaning under his weight, silhouetted against the city skyline. Alone in the dim light, I wondered if this was the night everything broke, or the one where it finally started. The next morning hit like a freight train, sun slicing through the blinds, my head throbbing from one too many seltzers, the smell of burnt toast wafting from the kitchen. Jordan was already up, hunched over the stove in his faded Mets tee, flipping eggs with a spatula like it was a weapon. He glanced over, forcing a grin that didn't reach his eyes. Morning, sunshine. Survived the night. Barely. I rubbed my temples, sliding onto a stool at our wobbly IKEA counter. The apartment felt off-kilter, like the earthquake we'd joked about last week had finally rolled through. You bail on the fire escape? Thought you were gonna brood till dawn. He shrugged, plating me eggs, scrambled, just how I liked, with a dash of sriracha. Nah, just cleared my head. Sorry if I was a dick last night. Blame the whiskey. It was his go-to deflection, smooth as the way he dodged family calls about settling down with a nice girl. But today it landed flat. We ate in that loaded quiet, forks scraping ceramic, the hum of traffic below filling the gaps. Astoria was alive out there. Families haggling at the Greek market, hipsters queuing for matcha lattes. But in here, it was just us, two guys who'd built this bubble of normalcy on half-truths. Finally, I couldn't take it. Jordan, level with me. That panic? It wasn't about brothers. I've seen you hyped for my dates before. Hell, you wingmaned that disaster with the barista last month. This was different. He paused, fork hovering, then set it down with deliberate care. His face was a mask, calm on top, but I knew the tells, the tick in his jaw, the way his fingers drummed the counter like he was sketching out an escape route. Different how, he challenged, but his voice wavered, betraying him. Jealous, I said simply, holding his gaze. The word dropped like a stone in still water, ripples spreading. You look jealous, like you wanted to be the one I was flirting with. The color drained from his face, then rushed back in a flush that crept up his neck. He laughed, sharp, disbelieving, but stood too quick, chair scraping back. Jesus, Alex. That's not. I'm not. He trailed off, pacing the tiny kitchen, hands fisting in his hair. You know my deal? Dad would lose his shit. Mom's already on me about grandkids. And it's not like I've ever what? Felt something. I stood too, closing the distance, my pulse a drum in my ears. Because I have. For you. For months. And last night. That wasn't straight guy protectiveness. That was you staking a claim you won't admit to. He stopped pacing, inches away, his breath coming fast. Up close, I could see the freckles across his nose, the faint scar from that skateboarding wipeout in high school he'd shown me one tipsy night. You don't get it, he whispered, voice cracking. If this is real, it changes everything. Our friendship, the life I thought I had. What if it's just confusion? What if I fuck it up? The vulnerability hit me square, raw, unfiltered, the Jordan I'd glimpsed in those late-night talks, the one who sketched superheroes with hidden wounds. I reached out, tentative, my hand on his arm. He didn't pull away. Then we figure it out. Together. But hiding? That's already fucking it up. For a beat, the world narrowed to that touch. Electric, terrifying. Then his phone buzzed on the counter, shattering the moment. His sister, FaceTime, her face popping up with that bright, "Hey bro, family dinner tonight, don't flake." He stared at it like it was a bomb, then swiped to answer, forcing cheer into his voice. "Yes, Soph, be there. Tell Ma I'll bring dessert." As he chatted, the mask slipped back on, but his eyes, those stayed on me, haunted. I backed off, grabbing my keys for a run, needing air myself. Out on the street, pounding pavement past the bagel shop and the mural-covered laundromat, I replayed it all. Was this progress? Or just another layer of denial? By the time I looped back, sweat-soaked and spent, Jordan was gone. Note on the fridge, at pickup ball. Don't wait up. Jay? The courts were in Astoria Park, chain-link fences rattling in the breeze off the East River, the Manhattan skyline a distant tease across the water. I spotted them from the path. Jordan in his beat-up Nikes, draining threes with that effortless arc, Tyler matching him shot for shot, their laughter carrying on the wind. Sam was there too, reffing with theatrical whistles, and a few other guys from the party, turning it into an impromptu tournament. I hung back by the benches, towel around my neck, pretending to stretch. Watching Jordan move, fluid, focused, sweat gleaming on his arms, stirred that ache again, sharper now after our kitchen standoff. He glanced up mid-game, spotting me, and his rhythm faltered just enough for Tyler to steal the ball, sinking an easy layup. The group hooted, But Jordan's smile was tight as he jogged over during a water break, dripping and defiant. "Stalking now?" he teased, but there was no heat in it, just that undercurrent, like we were both waiting for the other shoe to drop. "Scouting the competition." I nodded toward Tyler, who was high-fiving Sam. "He any good? Or just show?" Jordan's eyes darkened a fraction. "He's fine. Solid D, decent handles." He took a swig from his bottle, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. "You two gonna?" The question hung, unfinished, but loaded. I shrugged, playing it cool. "Maybe, if you're cool with it." Lie. I had zero interest now, not after that hallway pull. But pushing him, worth the bluff. He crushed the bottle in his fist, plastic crinkling. "Do what you want, Alex." "Told you, I'm not." But the words died as Tyler called him back in, and Jordan jogged off without finishing, his shoulders tense under the midday sun. The game wrapped an hour later, everyone scattering for lunch, trucks parked nearby, halal carts steaming with lamb over rice, the air rich with cumin and grilled onions. Sam dragged me into line behind Jordan and Tyler, who were bantering about some Comic-Con panel. "Dudes projecting harder than an IMAX," Sam muttered in my ear, nodding at Jordan. One more nudge, and boom, closet door flies open. "Easier said," I replied, but hope flickered. Over gyros wrapped in foil, we claimed a picnic table by the water, the group expanding with stragglers. Mia and Lena showed up fashionably late, bearing iced coffees and gossip from a morning shoot. "Heard you two had a moment," Mia stage whispered, jerking her chin at Jordan, who was mid-bite, oblivious. "Shoo," I hissed, but Lena chuckled, her calm presence diffusing the vibe. As plates emptied, talk turned to the weekend, pride after-party planning, debates over best dive bars. Jordan joined in, his knee bumping mine under the table once, twice, accidental until it wasn't. He didn't move it away. That night, family dinner loomed for him like a guillotine. I was sprawled on the futon, sketching thumbnails for a freelance gig. Queer superheroes, capes billowing in rainbow winds, when he emerged from his room, buttoning a flannel over his best jeans. "Wish me luck," he said, half joking, grabbing his keys. "For what?" "Ma's lasagna." I looked up, pencil pausing. He hesitated in the doorway, the hall light haloing him. "For not spilling my guts. Soft's been prying about my love life again. Thinks I'm a monk." The bitterness edged his tone, a glimpse of the weight he carried, the golden boy expected to marry, procreate, conform. "Tell her you're dating a ghost. Keeps it mysterious." I grinned, but it felt forced. "Or, the truth. Baby steps." His laugh was genuine this time, soft. "Yeah, right. Night, Alex." The door clicked shut, leaving me with the echo. I tossed the sketchpad aside, pacing to the window. Across the street, neon buzzed from the dive bar, couples spilling out arm in arm. What would it be like, I wondered, if we were one of them? No masks, no maybes, just us, navigating the mess. Hours ticked by. I killed time with Netflix, a half-hearted rom-com that only amplified the ache. By 11, worry crept in. No text, no key in the lock. Then, at midnight sharp, the door flew open, Jordan stumbling in, eyes red-rimmed, flannel untucked. He didn't speak, just collapsed beside me on the futon, head in hands. "Bad," I ventured, hand hovering near his shoulder. "Worse." His voice muffled. "Dad cornered me after dinner. When you bringing home a girl, Jordan? Can't let the family name die out. Like I'm some legacy project." And sophomore she asked if I was gay. Out of nowhere. Said she saw the way I look at you. My breath caught. "What did you say?" "Nothing." Laughed it off. But inside, it was like everything crashing down. He lifted his head, eyes locking on mine, raw, searching. "Alex, what if she's right? What if this panic, this pull, it's not confusion? What if it's me?" The admission hung, fragile as a first kiss. I swallowed, heart soaring and sinking in equal measure. "Then it's us. And we face it. But only if you're ready." He nodded, slow, tentative, his hand finding mine in the lamplight, fingers intertwining, warm and real. The rom-com droned on, forgotten, as we sat there, the city humming outside, two worlds colliding in the quiet of our living room. For the first time, the future felt less like a cliff and more like a bridge, shaky, sure, but worth the cross. But bridges have tolls, and ours came swift. The next week blurred into a tentative new normal. Stolen glances over morning coffee, his foot nudging mine under the dinner table, texts at odd hours. Missed our run. Tomorrow? It was thrilling, terrifying, like skating on fresh ice. Our friends noticed, of course. Mia texted a string of eggplant emojis followed by finally, while Sam organized a non-intervention at our local trivia night, complete with rainbow shots. Jordan was trying, in his way, Googling coming out stories on incognito, leaving queer lit on the coffee table like casual bait. But the cracks showed. At work, his boss, a grizzled ad vet with zero filter, cracked jokes about fairy clients, and Jordan came home seething, slamming cabinets. It's everywhere, he'd mutter, pacing. Like I've been blind. And me? I was all in, but doubt whispered. Was this real for him, or just rebellion? One night, post-trivia, we crushed the LGBTQ plus history round. Thanks to Lena's brain, we walked home buzzed on cheap wine, shoulders brushing. At the stoop, he paused, turning to me under the street lamp's glow. Alex, this, us, I want it. But slow, okay? I need to wrap my head around telling people. Take your time, I said, though impatience nipped at me. Our first kiss happened there, soft, hesitant, his lips tasting of Merlot and mint, hands cupping my face like I might vanish. It was electric, affirming, but as we pulled apart, his phone lit up. Dad, voice message, gruff about some family barbecue. Jordan's face shuddered, and he silenced it, but the moment soured. The real storm hit Friday. We'd planned a low-key movie night. His pick, some indie flick about found family, but he bailed last minute, text vague, stuck at work. Rain check. I waited up anyway, popcorn going stale, until 1 a.m. when the door creaked open. He was wrecked, hair disheveled, tie askew, smelling faintly of bourbon. Rough deadline, I asked, pausing the pause credits. Worse. He sank beside me, loosening his collar. Ran into Tyler at the bar after. He asked about us. Said he saw the looks, the touches. Congratulated me, like it's official. His laugh was bitter. I denied it. Told him he was imagining shit. Felt like a coward. The words stung. Denial, again. Why? We're past that, aren't we? Are we? He turned, eyes fierce. You want me to march into Dad's barbecue tomorrow and say, hey, folks, surprise. I'm bi and dating the roommate? After years of their straight son narrative? It'll destroy them. Destroy me. And hiding destroys us. I countered, heat rising. You kissed me, Jordan. You held my hand. That's not nothing. It's everything. He exploded, standing, voice echoing. But it's scary as hell. You think I don't feel it? The pull. Every day, wanting more, but the fallout? My job, my family, the looks from old friends. What if they see me different? Weak. Weak. The word ignited me. I stood too, chest tight. That's the bullshit talking, the prejudice you've swallowed. I'm not asking you to blow up your life overnight. But denying us to Tyler? To yourself? That's not protecting anyone. He deflated, shoulders slumping. I know. God, I know. Just give me time. But time felt like a lie, and as he retreated to his room, door clicking soft, I wondered if we'd jumped too soon, or not at all. Saturday dawned gray, rain pattering the window like impatient fingers. Jordan left for the barbecue early, kissing my forehead in the hall. Quick, apologetic, muttering back by 6. We talked then. I spent the day wandering Queens, ducking into the Museum of the Moving Image for distraction, losing myself in old film reels of forbidden loves. By evening, the apartment echoed empty. I cooked pasta anyway, sauce simmering as thunder rumbled distant. 6 became 8, 8:10. Texts went unread. Worry turned to anger, then ice-cold dread. At midnight, the door opened. Not Jordan, but Mia, drenched, with Lena trailing, faces grim. He's at the ER, Mia said, no preamble. Car accident on the BQE. Slippery roads, hydroplaned. He's okay. Concussion, bruises, but they called his emergency contact. Which is you? The world tilted. We raced to Elmhurst Hospital, fluorescent lights buzzing like angry bees, the smell of antiseptic sharp. Jordan lay in a curtained bay, pale against starched sheets, a bandage over his brow, for dripping steady. His eyes fluttered open as I burst in, relief flooding his bruised face. Alex. Shit, I'm sorry. Don't. I gripped his hand, knuckles white. Just rest. But as nurses bustled, his family arrived. Mom in pearls, Dad stone-faced, Soph hovering anxious. The air thickened, questions flew. What happened? Will he walk? But under it, the unspoken. Why you here, Alex? Not us first. Later, alone, Jordan whispered, told them about us. In the ambulance. Dad. He didn't say much. Just nodded. Tears tracked his cheek. Scared me more than the crash. I brushed them away, throat tight. Proud of you. And in that sterile room, monitors beeping soft, we held on. Through the night. The questions, the slow mend. The accident cracked something open in him, urgency sharpening edges. Recovery was rough. PT sessions where he'd grit through pain. Family dinners tense with tiptoed talks. Dad thawed slow, a gruff, "You're still my boy," over coffee one Sunday. Mom baked pies laced with questions. Soph became our cheerleader, texting memes about bye brothers. But external storms brewed. At Jordan's job, whispers started. A client overheard the roommate thing, spread it like gossip fodder. His boss pulled him aside. Look, kid, no judgment, but some accounts are conservative. Keep it quiet. Jordan quit 2 weeks later, rage-fueled, landing freelance gigs that paid less, but breath-freer. Our friends rallied. Mia shot his portfolio. Sam networked queer creatives. Through it, our bond deepened. Lazy Sundays sketching together, his lines intertwining mine. Tentative dates at hidden speakeasies where hands stayed linked under tables. Yet misunderstandings lingered, sharp as glass. One night, at a group hike in the Palisades, Tyler showed. Invited by Sam, no drama. He clapped Jordan on the back. Easy. Heard the good news, man. Happy for you. But Jordan stiffened, old reflexes kicking. Later, by the fire pit, he pulled me aside. Feels like pity. Like I'm the token by now. It's support, I said, but doubt echoed. That night, back home, it erupted. Accusations flying. Me pushing too fast, him retreating too easy. You think this is easy for me? I yelled, voice breaking. Loving you while you half in, half out. He grabbed my arms, fierce. I love you, Alex. Fully. But the world's not kind. Prejudices don't vanish. We collapsed then, apologies and tears, making promises in the dark, therapy together, boundaries redrawn. The climax crested at Pride. NYC's explosion of color, floats thundering down Fifth, confetti rain. We'd marched before, allies separate. This year, hands clasped, his bi-flag pin glinting beside my rainbow. Midway, Dad appeared on the sidelines, unannounced, sign in hand. Proud of my son. Jordan froze, then ran, hugging fierce, words tumbling. Thanks, Dad. Means everything. From there, the arc bent toward light. Conflicts eased into growth. Jordan's art bloomed, pieces of us woven in, portraits of quiet courage. Friendships solidified, Lena mediating our rough patches with gentle insight. Prejudices? They lingered, stray comments at bars, family awkwardness, but we faced them tandem, stronger. 1 year on, in our new Brooklyn brownstone, bigger kitchen, view of the bridge, we toasted anniversaries with IPAs on the fire escape. Panicked that night for a reason, he murmured, head on my shoulder. Scared to lose you. You didn't, I replied, kissing his temple. And in the city lights glow, misunderstandings faded, love the steady thread binding us through.